Well, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the KS Moto Cafe. So for this episode, I want to talk about something called the Harley Tax and explain to you guys what that's all about and why you should know before you buy a Harley Davidson. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that like and subscribe button and make sure you leave a comment in any of my videos for this month so you can be eligible for the KS Moto Cafe's monthly draw. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so what the hell is Harley Tax and why should I know before I buy a Harley Davidson motorcycle? Well, simply put, Harley Tax is all these modifications that you will need to fork up when you purchase a new Harley Davidson motorcycle to improve it to the standard that, any other manufacturers will provide for you as stock. And it's as ridiculous as it sounds, every new Harley owner will have to eventually pay up the Harley Tax if you want the sound of the Harley or the performance of the Harley or maybe even the comfort of the Harley. And it revolves around those three: the sound, the comfort, and performance. Because to your knowledge, a Harley Davidson motorcycle should sound like this. But when you buy a new motorcycle, especially from the new Milwaukee 8 era or the Revolution Max era, you get this sound. So in order for you to get this traditional Harley sound, you have to buy a new set of exhausts, whether it's a slip-on or a full set of exhausts. And that costs like anywhere near between $500 to $1,000. And on top of that, if you buy a new exhaust, you also may require to upgrade the air filter, which means you're gonna have to remap it as well. So all these things added on will give you the signature sound that Harley Davidson should give you as stock, but they can't because of the emission standards. So you have to fork it up on your own, either buying it from a dealership or buying it from a third party, and you would have to install it yourself or get a buddy to do it for you. Luckily, that mod isn't really hard to do. If you know how to turn a wrench, you can basically know how to install a new exhaust system, but it still costs time and money. The second one that most people do is the seat, because most stock seats are not very comfortable. And in order for you to increase that comfort, you're gonna have to buy a new seat, which again costs anywhere near $150 to $500. And to top it off, if you were thinking about having a passenger on your bike, some Harley Davidson models don't have that standard for you. So let's say for the Sportster, you need to install the passenger pegs and a passenger seat. To add on to the comfort, most people also upgrade the rear shocks. And I'm most likely speaking for the Evolution Sportster because new Softail models actually have pretty decent shocks that you probably won't upgrade or need to upgrade right away. But the Sportster shocks just suck because they only have like 1.5 inch of travel, and that is not a lot. So if you go out and buy a third-party aftermarket shock, like a set of Progressive 412s, then you are also spending about another $400. So already at this point, you have the exhaust, you have a seat, and you have rear shocks. What about performance? Well, you know what? That can wait a little bit for some people, but for others, they're going to be underwhelmed about the raw power that the Harley Davidson provides, and it may not be enough for them. So when they look up on the forums on how to increase the horsepower or torque of their newly bought motorcycle, they're going to say, you got to stage 1 that shit. And what that means is you're going to have to upgrade the exhaust, which you already thought about, the air cleaner, and as well, you got to remap the fuel injection system to ensure that right amount of fuel is actually put into your bike with the new system. And that itself should increase your performance by, I don't know, a sliver. And then you got the stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 for those who are very wealthy to be able to afford, which means you are upgrading the bores and the cams of the engine so you can increase your displacement and increase your power performance by roughly like 30 to 40%. So in a nutshell, that's kind of the Harley Tax, roughly around $2,000 you should expect to spend if you want to join the Harley Club.
We don't do anything anything, we could end up trying to find... If we don't do anything, we can... Hey, Bartlett! I'm trying to talk...
I mean, can you get by with just riding around your stock bike? Yeah, of course. But would you be 100% satisfied with it? It depends. For me, when I got my Iron 883, I was actually quite pleasantly surprised by the sound of the Evolution Sportster's stock exhaust. But after a while, I was not 100% satisfied with it. Therefore, ended up buying the Vance & Hines twin/slash slip-ons because I didn't want to upgrade the air filter or remap my fuel injection system, because if I do it myself, it actually voids the warranty. I didn't upgrade the seat because I'm a cheap bastard, and at the time I didn't really know how long I was going to keep the Iron 883 because everyone keeps telling me that I'm going to outgrow the bike. Now that I decided I'm going to keep the bike a little bit longer, I will be in search for potentially a new seat, either from Saddlemen or Lepera, but I'm still open to ideas on that. Same thing with rear shocks. I have been riding with these stock rear shocks ever since the beginning, but I did ride it for 1 year without adjusting the preload, which was definitely my fault. But after adjusting the preload to my weight, it did increase my comfort by maybe 30%, I would say, from the original setting. So it kind of bought me some time, but I'm still uncomfortable with it. So I am looking at potentially progressive 412s to install for my Iron 883 to increase the comfort for my bike, because hell, if I'm going to keep it to enjoy my rides, might as well be comfortable with it. And then the last thing I did to my bike was to add in the 4-inch risers, just to give me a little bit more pullback so my back is straighter. If you guys don't know, I have lower back issues, and I find that if my posture is slightly bent forward, then it kind of aggravates my back. So having the risers definitely helps me out because my back is a lot straighter when I'm riding. But other than that, I haven't done any more performance or comfort mods. I am thinking about increasing the performance, either to do a proper stage 1, or I add the 1200 kit from Hammer Performance or SNS Cycle. But yeah, even with my minor mods that I put onto this bike already, I would say I spent about $800 to get to where I am right now. But if I end up getting a new seat, pair of new rear shocks, and doing the 1200 kit upgrade, I'm looking at like close to $3,000 to $4,000 of just Harley Tax alone. And you know what, like for some people that's gonna push you in the softail category, where you just bite the bullet, trade your bike in and get a softail that already gives you that comfort and performance, probably better actually. But for me, I'm a stubborn guy, and I really like the look of the Iron 883, as most of you guys who are following my channel would also concur. So yeah, I may end up forking up that kind of money. It all depends on how my channel does, because I am not allowed to spend more money on this bike. So for those who already have a Harley Davidson motorcycle and experienced the Harley Tax, please comment below on what you did for your first tax. But for everyone else that's looking to buy a Harley, that's something that you really should know before buying one. If you guys enjoyed this, please click that like and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Ride safe, ride prepared, ride on. Peace.